Hello, I'm going to talk about Pedlar in Divinity, George Whitfield and the Great Awakening, 1737 to 1745, by Frank Lambert. And this is a portrait from Harvard when Whitfield was president. The article focuses on how George Whitfield used techniques from the world of commerce and trade to bring people to Christ. This article appealed to me mostly because I have a business background. I teach business at a local community college, but I never thought about George Whitfield from a business standpoint. I'm also United Methodist, and Whitfield had a lot of interactions with John Wesley. So after reading this article, I realized just how savvy Whitfield was. And not only did he utilize commercial influences creatively to finance his evangelical missions and humanitarian interests, but he also used commercial or business influences to spread the gospel. Language and the use of books and print culture were extremely important during this time period, not only for transmitting ideas, but for entertainment. And Whitfield was excellent at commanding the English language. He was a gifted communicator in every sense of the word. He used every media that was available at the time, and he did this from a distance and in writing. Ian Matlock has a quote that says that him and John Wesley are what they would call print and preachers, excuse me. And that meant that they communicated with both oral and written sermons. They did both. And he was very intentional with his communications. He did that. He communicated with his public in mind. And so his sermons were both written and oral, and he had pamphlets and books and letters, and a lot of people had letters and they would pass them around and read aloud to each other. And oral communication speeches, many people would um, maybe take notes by shorthand and pass them around to friends and family. Publicity and marketing strategies. He was a master public relations specialist at the time, if you will. He sent copies of things ahead of him, of sermons and books and pamphlets to get people excited. And he would bring swag, if you will. He would bring promotional information with him to places and give it out to people. And he manipulated news stories. There was one story where he manipulated in a newspaper that there was a dance studio that closed, and in the newspaper they had him print that it was because it was immoral, and that's why it closed. And the person that owned the studio got very, very upset, and there was a big controversy about that. They spun it like the people do today in politics with testimonies and endorsements. He felt that no publicity was bad publicity. Serial publications, sermons, and journals weekly, creative and flexible pricing schemes. He believed everybody should access this. So he made sure that there were things printed on cheaper paper for poor people and fancier paper for rich people. And he would make pocket-sized publications because they were easier for some people to carry around. And then, of course, he would have home deliveries for his magazines in England. And my bibliography.